What's going on? My name is Amy. Welcome to the channel. I'm a beginner day trader in month 5, about to be month 6 actually in May. And I'm gonna talk to you today about 2 embarrassing day trades that I took. And I say embarrassing because it's like, okay, some of these things I know better now than a few months ago. So back then I could excuse it. And now it's like, oh yeah, you know this, but you still took these trades and you shouldn't have. So without beating myself up too much, let's just get into it. I'll tell you what I traded today. So this whole week, there's been kind of a trend I've noticed across YouTube. And some people that trade that are at a higher, much higher level than me have even said that they're not trading. Like they're literally just looking at the charts and being like, nope, not today. And knowing this, and I still, today and yesterday and even Friday, I felt this, like the A+ quality setups for what I normally trade and what I'm looking to trade ain't there, right? Or I'm jumping in at a wrong time or whatever. But let's get into it. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, one of my favorite things to trade is Tesla, and I trade it via ETFs, exchange traded funds. The reason being because it's just cheaper to buy the ETF shares and you have a different leverage over it. Some of them are 1.5x, 2x, depending on what you decide to trade. So today I was wanting to short Tesla. I mean, the trend was very bearish this morning. Y'all saw the market open and just everything was like way down, right? So I get on the charts at I think it was just after 7 a.m. Pacific. So like 10 a.m., right? Just after that first half hour. And I'm watching it. I don't really see like what I'm looking for. I'm using TradingView now to kind of help me just draw some support resistance boxes using the rectangle tool. You can check out the video I did recently about that. It was called This One TradingView Tool Helped Me to Win 2 Day Trades. And also, by the way, like if you're, also new like me and you want to know, how I've learned what I've learned and how I've made it 5 months, feel free to check out my day trading resources. It's down in the links below or in the comments. And it's basically a compilation of everything I've used that I felt like helped me on my journey thus far. YouTubers, books, videos, all that's in there, totally free. Just put in your email to get access. So TradingView, I've got behind me, you can see these like purple boxes, right? I had my Tesla thing marked up. And then I did this last night, actually marked it up for Tesla last night, looking for levels. And this morning it opened so much lower than it closed that it was irrelevant at that point. Like Tesla dropped 5%. And I'm like, well, none of these levels matter anymore. So I kind of spent the beginning of, my charting session just fixing the levels and saying, okay, if I'm in these certain areas, it's better, right? It's like more probabilities. So I get in at 7:33 a.m. my time, and Tesla was like, it was down, like down, right? And I get in kind of like in this box. It started to make what I call kind of like a false breakout move. And it's like, I know this is kind of far away, I apologize. It's in this purple box. And I just kind of show you here. I'm trying to do this backwards. I get in like in this area, okay, but I'm trading TSLQ, which is the ETF that shorts Tesla, right? And it's like doing this thing where it's nice, clean action. See these little like nice, clean stairs? And I'm like, oh, okay, this is great, But it stayed in this stupid box. And I was like, wait a minute, should I have taken this trade? And I'm like thinking that it's gonna keep going down, but it stays in the stupid box. And then there's this strong bullish candle. And all of a sudden we're over the 9 EMA. And I'm like, okay, crap. And what ended up happening on this one, I got stopped out because I'm doing a really tight stops right now. I'm kind of more of a scalp trader. So I did a 15-cent stop with 12 shares bought in and 12 shares at 25-cent stop. So the first stop gets executed and it kicks me out. And then I'm watching that green, engulfing candle. And I'm like, I'm just going to kick myself out at this point. Kind of realized, it just felt like everything was just turning around. So I took a loss of $3.60 on that one. Now I did put some notes here. I was like kind of trying to figure out what did I read wrong? Because in the trade, I wasn't quite sure what kind of shifted. And so I put the candle action suggested bearish, right? And it was clean and all that. The stochastic, the oscillator that I use on my Robinhood chart, which you can kind of see right there, had curled over, clearly crossing, and going down. So I was like, that was kind of a correct signal. And then I put price push back up, question mark. I didn't get it, right? And I put, as I realized where it was stopping me out, where I was kicking myself out, that was above the 9 EMA. And I'm like, I think I just thought I was good because when I entered, I was below it. But then the price action just quickly shifted. So it was one of those I don't know, I say embarrassing trades, it's one of these I'm still a noob, but still trying to figure this out. And I, as I get kicked out, I'm like, what just happened? But then I put, it was above the 9 EMA, darn it. It should have waited for below. So it's kind of tricky. I'm almost wondering if the EMA, of course, it's exponential, it's moving, right? And I'm wondering if I just thought I was below it, but then as I'm getting in on this one, maybe right in here, that's where it was just crossing. So I don't know, I kind of kicked myself as it was doing that, but it was one of those would I have necessarily seen it had it not been happening like that in real time? I don't know. So anyways, I just felt kind of at that one. But then I tried again to get back in it and short it. And, the difference in price. So initially I'd gotten in at 28.42, 28.44. And it dropped down to the 28.20s on TSLQ. Because again, this is the ETF that tracks Tesla. So you're buying shares for a fraction of the price. And next thing you know, I'm getting back in at 28.75 and 28.73. And I'm like, okay, and let me pull the actual ETF up here. And let's see, okay, so where my white line is here. Yeah, so what's the opposite, right? You're gonna see these candles green now instead of red as Tesla's dropping. So it's saying, okay, we're shorting, right? So I'm getting in right in here at, these stair stepping, right? Just this is mirroring Tesla. It's just this is shorting it. So yeah, and then all of a sudden you get this freaking candle going the other way, and then down. So I thought okay, I'm in the correct thing here by kicking myself out, and then where is 742? Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. Looking at the wrong one. Okay, so this was the first trade up here, and then the second trade where it was making this kind of move where I'm like, oh, time to get back in. And it was short-lived, kicked me out on that one. I think I stopped myself out on the second one. Yeah, manually out at 28.61. I didn't give it that much time, to be honest, but I was I don't think this is going in my direction. Yeah, it ended up dropping quite a bit. And it never came back to that level where I got out. So I was correct to kick myself out. This one I put, it was a 3-minute trade. I'm in at 7:42, out at 7:45, so 10:42, 10:45. I waited for below 9 EMA, candle closed. And it was also below the anchored VWAP, which I've got on my Robinhood charts. And went green for a moment, I was in profit, then turned around again. And I'm just I remember thinking too, as I'm kicking myself out of the trade, really, again, back to back, newbie mistakes, right? And
And I put, because I'm still kind of trying to figure out post-analysis as I'm writing these notes, need to wait for more confirmation, ? More candles closed, ? What I did was when I wrote, I waited for the 9 EMA candle, like the one that was below to close. It was a 1 minute chart. And I'm thinking maybe I should have waited for a 3 minute candle below the 9 EMA to close and gotten the signal then. I think it was a little bit of like jumping the gun a little. I gotta get in now, And yeah, and I basically just got in way at the top, and Tesla after that just seemed to turn like completely bullish. I think Tesla ended I'm in it down here, and it kind of chopped around, it rose up a little, and then it was like kind of floating the rest of the day. So it never came back to these levels I was trying to short it at. So in hindsight, that's what I did correctly on these trades was I got myself out. I realized I was wrong on both occasions, and the time between these trades, I got in 7:33 on the first one, 7:42 on the second one. After the trades were closed, I think both of them was like around $3 losses. I put total loss P&L minus $6.83. I put need to pick better time of day to trade, maybe open again, ? So that was what I realized was what I did wrong was number one trade, the 9 EMA line, not being on the correct side of that or misreading it as I'm trying to get in the trade. The second one, it was, oh shoot, what time of day is it, right? All of a sudden I realized we're in the chop. We're in that zone where it's like everything just sort of slows down because again, this was like 7:42, so 10:42. So it's an hour and 12 minutes after the open. Usually right at that first hour mark is when things just completely slow down. Like you'll see a big difference in the volume if you've got the profiles on your chart. I've actually been hiding them lately on mine so I can make cleaner charts. But yeah, you'll see it. And for what I like to trade, momentum, quick scalps, get in, get out. I don't want to hang around too long. I've got tight stops, I don't need to be whipsawed. Yeah, I should have just been like, okay, walked away after that first one or gotten on the charts earlier, or option 3, not taking a trade at all. Because like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, other people on YouTube that are way better at this than me are basically like, nope, not gonna do it. Or they're taking very few trades and they know their setups really, really well. So that's one of the things that I've just got to accept, like as a newer trader, that some days you need to just be totally open to option 3, go long, go short, or go home. Like these are the options, right? And that is a choice. Like that is actually a way to trade. And I think it's a way to trade that makes you and keeps you profitable. And Friday, Monday, Tuesday, I've had red days. And I'm like, okay, what does this tell you? Like, you aren't waiting for your A+ quality setups. I can feel it. And some days just FOMO, just like, I want to be in a trade, right? Like I want the action. It's the ego stepping in. It's the emotions of wanting to feel like something's happening, right? And I just need to get back to the basics here. Like just get back to focusing on the trade. If there's no trade, we leave. Like I did this to myself yesterday. I didn't do a recap of yesterday's trades, but this is exactly what I did wrong yesterday was I had everything shut down on the computer. As I was like, there's nothing to trade. It's crap, whatever. I was trading a different time of day. And I had one chart still up. And I jumped in a trade trying to go long on the Qs, and I was like, what am I doing? And I immediately took a loss, and then I was like, okay, I'm seriously like, I'm done. Like this is done. And yeah, this week, these last few trading days, it feels like I need to just maybe remove myself almost from some sort of like expectancy that I will trade every day. And I mentioned this like on a prior video that I am okay, and I think I already know this, and I mentioned it, that I do better trading 4 days a week versus 5. And in my mind, I'm still thinking that means I'm actually taking a trade those 4 days. No, that means I should just be sitting at the computer looking at the chart those 4 days. That doesn't mean every 4 days, back to back to back, I trade. Especially in these markets, this is my lesson learned today. Like, just walk away, unless it is clear, obvious go signals. I could feel it in my last couple of trades that I'm jumping in almost with like a little bit of uncertainty, or it's not like I'm fearful to get in the trade. It's just a little bit of like, am I really convinced on this, And you can be convinced and be wrong. I'm okay with that. But jumping in a trade where you're like 50% convinced, 75% convinced, no, I need to be 100% convinced, right? And I think I'm going to revisit like what are my criteria for entering, because I feel like I'm slipping from some of the things that I had in place, like these are my rules. Go back, look at the rules, refine them, get clear, and trade better tomorrow. If I choose to trade. If there is an A plus quality setup that I am meant to take. So anyways, guys, how did you do? How was your trading day? Did you take a trade? Did you just walk away? Kind of feel like this was another day where I should have just walked away. What was the answer? Tuesday, Wednesday, should have just walked away. The markets have been erratic, choppy. And at this point too, it's kind of causing me to think like, let's try trading other things. Tesla's great sometimes when the momentum is good, but when it gets stuck in ranges and I end up getting chopped, it ain't great, right? It ain't so fun. So yeah, I'm kind of like, well, let's look at some other stocks, maybe, pull up scanners and whatnot and try other things. We're in earnings season too, so there's that. But yeah, feel free, guys, check out my day trading resources down below. Like I said, it's got books, YouTubers, people I've been following, how I'm learning. I recently got Day Trading Addicts course, going through that. I'm like in module 7, I think. It's really good, like really, really helping me, gave me the idea to, start using TradingView and actually like drawing things and whatnot. Chris Swaggy C, I really like his stuff too. He trades Forex, but I feel like I can learn from anybody in terms of charts and like, the basics, right? The fundamentals of trading. So anyways, hope y'all enjoy. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.